Kink in the anchor chain.
Kink in the anchor chain. I know. You're looking well anyway. You're looking well.
He laughs when he's not supposed to.
Hello, sir.
Hello, there's another familiar face.
Oh, I am.
You were here last year? And
I've been here for the last 10 years.
oh, right.
And with James, I've been with James since 60,
Since
70
Venice.
years.
He loves jumping ship in Venice.
No.
Jumping ship, yes.
No.
It's an interesting occupation.
No. In fact, I can say it to you in 10 years' time. And I said it to Edward Lord West at the Arboretum for the Faulkners Memorial. I said, do you know what, sir? I says, every time I meet you, you get younger every day. And he says, you won't get around me like that. Correct?
That's correct.
What a great day.
It's really wonderful.
So moving. It really
It's
is.
important thing to keep on.
Yes. Well, it is. It is.
No,
I should do it.
Take it now. You can.
I saw you.
You can, because you've got to go.
Thank you for that.
If you want to get a shot,
We have done for you.
Superb.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for all of you do to make it.
is this your lad?
Yes, it is.
And
Hide that white. Is that the white end? Anything in it?
No, we've
Hold
run
it, Mum.
out.
There you are. Quickly, take a photograph.
Now, mate, quick.
Hurry.
Right, okay?
You missed out on the photo with Lord West,
Yeah.
so we thought we'd come.
Can we have a few words like we did last year?
I just want to make the point that it's a real delight to be here again after my appearance here last year. The weather's better.
Yes,
The pouring rain.
we're not that soft.
But the wonderful poignancy of this occasion, recognising the connection between the Royal Navy and the Merchant Navy and all that we stand for collectively in terms of the heritage and history of this nation is what attracts me here. And then when I'm here, I just love to meet all of these wonderful characters that make up the associations that are represented across the whole of the UK. It's a delight to be here.
Absolutely. Nice to see you again. Dry this time.
Dry this time.
It's been another wonderful occasion, and it's been very well supported. And I really enjoyed meeting everybody with their colours and their flags, coming from every part of the country, and representing every branch of the merchant service as well as the armed service. It's been a great gathering.
Somebody take a photograph.
Mercifully nice day.
It shows the dedication of these people.
Certainly does show a lot of dedication and the need to preserve memories of very, very important events.
Hello, my name is Captain Tom Tulloch. I'm the Naval Advisor from the Royal Canadian Navy here in the United Kingdom. I'm very pleased to be able to attend today's ceremony commemorating the efforts of the Merchant Navy through our proud history, particularly so much as my father was a member of the Merchant Navy in the Second World War. And I'm very, very proud to be able to be here on behalf of Canada, on behalf of the Canadian Navy, and on his behalf as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Lovely.
Before there was such a rabble. May I introduce please Captain John Sale, M&M, who will give you household notices. Thank you.
It's my pleasure and privilege once again to welcome you all here today. Our principal guest, Admiral Sir Mark Stanhope, I believe this could be your last year, sir, but we really appreciate your commitment to come here in the last few years. Your support is most welcome. I'd like to thank Commodore Bill Wadworth, our parade president, sir. Thank you very much indeed once again for honouring us and supporting us in such a specific way. It's really appreciated, Bill. The M&A's patron, Admiral Lord West, of course. We're very, very proud to have him as our patron. And he raises the red ensign in Parliament to great effect and in many other areas of influence. And that leads me on to the event patrons. Their support in promoting this event as a maritime annual event is strategically and critically very important for raising the profile of the Merchant Navy throughout the land and indeed overseas. And once again, it would not be possible to support this event without the complete commitment of Trinity House and HMS President. So thank you, Captain Ian Norton and the CEO, HMS President. And of course, HMS President's Guard of Honour was splendid again today, and we really appreciate their commitment to this event. give a special thank you to a gentleman who's got his head down at the moment, but Paul Flynn. Thank you very much indeed, sir, your support all over, particularly obviously in Newport, where you're very involved, and Mr. Jim Fitzpatrick, sir. Your wonderful support, especially when you're a shipping minister, is much appreciated, and your special personality helps to take us forward. Also, our thanks to our super baritone, who managed to get in time with us later. It was absolutely, Matthew, thank you very, very much indeed for your commitment to us, and I hope we'll see you next year. Now, at this point, it's very personal to me as well to mention Malcolm Matheson and Tim Brandt, the main organisers of this event. I do a little bit in the background, but they are really the main guys for this event, and it's an annual event, and it does take all year to organise it. So their commitment, dedication is really, really appreciated, because it goes so much towards the objectives for which the Merchant Navy Association are seeking to achieve. Lastly, our thanks to all Hallows for making this ancient and historic building available for us today. Thank you very, very much indeed.
John, Malcolm, thank you very much indeed for inviting me once again to this event and allowing me to say a few words. It's always a wonderful event to attend. I have to say my own disappointment is delivering this from here and not from the pulpit. It does, a day like today, give us the opportunity to reflect on one's thoughts. And of course, at an event like today, those thoughts often are focused on the triumphs and sacrifices of World War II, and in particular, the Atlantic convoys. Thoughts, I think, that will be rightly brought to the forefront of our national consciousness next year, at the 70th anniversary of the Battle of the Atlantic commemorations, when we will recall the courage of those that fought in that particular struggle for dominance of the Atlantic at such a critical time. Today, however, I thought I would dwell very briefly, if I may, on three other events in which the same courage, resolve, and most importantly, significance of seafarers is remembered and celebrated. Events that in their own way also serve to remind us of our island nation's very close and enduring and fundamentally important relationship with the sea, and the strength of the relationship between the Merchant Navy and the Royal Navy. First, therefore, I'd like to remember that in Malta we recognise the 70th anniversary of Operation Pedestal this year. It was a commemoration in Malta that I was lucky enough and privileged enough to be part of. The op, of course, involved major resupply of convoy and its arrival in Malta in August of 1942. Although many ships were lost, indeed only 5 of the 14 merchant ships that were in the convoy arrived in Malta, and together with a number of RM warship losses as well, indeed 4 RM warships were sunk and 5 were severely damaged. Even with those tragic losses, enough merchant vessels, particularly of course the tanker Ohio, arrived to bolster the defence of the island at a very, very critical time. Sufficient time to give Malta indeed striking force, the striking forces that were in Malta, the fuel and ammunition to intensify their attacks on the north-south axis supply lines in the Mediterranean, and with the effect indeed of depriving Rome of much needed support just prior to the Battle of El Alamein. It was equally, of course, the first break in the siege of the island. The second point of remembrance this year, of course, has been well represented today and in very poignant style, and that is, of course, that we recognise the 30th anniversary of the Falklands conflict. And I was honoured to be part of the commemorations in Pangor at the service that was held there this year. It brought home to every one of us that attended, once again, that mutual dependency between the Merchant Navy and the Royal Navy. Figures that were again well presented today. The Merchant Navy, of course, where over 40 vessels were taken up from trade, and their courageous crews made a huge contribution and, of course, a significant sacrifice that ultimately determined the outcome of the conflict. And we all in this nation recognise their sacrifice and remember them with huge significance of their contribution. Third, and probably a little bit more cheerfully, we celebrated this year Her Majesty's Diamond Jubilee with a particular and very special focus on the river pageant, on that typically British summer days. The Canaletto-like creation on the Thames was, I think, a hugely fitting reminder to all, the British public in particular, not just of the weather that we suffer in this country, but also our nation's maritime heritage, our huge dependency upon the sea, and perhaps that it is through the sea that our national character is best expressed. Three very different events, but I would venture that common to them all is this nation's recognition that freedom of the seas has always been, and will always be, the palette with which our national portrait of prosperity and security is painted. And in the years ahead, the palette will, in my view, adopt an increasingly maritime perspective. I hope that's music to everyone in this church's ears. For by 2017, the value of maritime freight moving in and out of the UK is forecast to grow by over a third compared with 2011. By 2020, around 2/3 of the oil and gas that the United Kingdom consumes will arrive by sea. And by 2030, much of our national and international maritime trade could also easily start being transported via the Arctic Ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a maritime perspective that, as it always has done, brings opportunity for our nation. And a maritime perspective that, as it always has done, the Royal Navy is hugely proud to protect. Today, as always, allows us to reflect on the heritage, the human cost, and the enduring nature of the maritime link this nation has with the sea. Thank you for listening.
If Admiral or Alan West would like to step forward, please. A great supporter of the Merchant Navy. Very proud to have you, sir. And a memento of the Falklands. Very kind.
This is a lovely painting of my ship, HMS Ardent, which was sunk in the Falklands, which is lovely and done in a marvellously sort of bright and naive style. It's absolutely gorgeous. You'll be very glad I don't have to speak to you this year. The First Sea Lord said everything so adroitly and so well. My only thing is that I want to live long enough to find that this nation really, really fully understands, because it does deep down understand the sea and the Navy and the Merchant Navy, but that it understands it right out front, and also that we have a member of the royal family here for this occasion, and we maybe even have a Prime Minister. And gosh, one wonders what party, you never know. I mean, I keep out of that, and I keep out of those things. But that's what I would like to see, because it would show the focus. The other great joy is, and my wife feels the same, we always love coming to this, because we people at sea are such nice people, aren't we? And it is lovely to see you all and meet you all. Thank you so much indeed.